Greetings. Once again, it's Elder Blacklight. This is a movie as well as a book called Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. This is about a scientist named Dr. Jekyll who wants to bring out the evil in him. So he invents some kind of serum that can bring another person out of him. Now, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was talking about this, but he got it from Master W.D. Farad Muhammad. Yaqub is also in the Bible, and that story is hidden under code language about the speckled cattle. I'm going to go into that later on in the teachings in another video. I can show it to you in the Bible, but the language is altered when Yaqub or Israel makes a people, the Caucasian. So the point was to bring evil out of good and study the evil and then eliminate evil. Now there's no other movie or book that copies the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad given to him by our Savior, Allah, in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, than this book and this movie. We're going to play a clip out of it. Now just imagine Dr. Jekyll as being Yaqub or Jacob, and Mr. Hyde being the Caucasian or the devil.
Good and evil are so close as to be chained together in this soul. Man is not truly one, but two. Now supposing we could break that chain, separate those two selves, free the good in man and let it go on to its higher destiny, and segregate the bad. Let it destroy itself in its own degradation.
Good heavens.
Why, Dr. Jekyll?
Hopelessly insane. This is pure balderdash.
You're dealing with things it would be better not to mention for your own sake. There might be trouble.
Now this is also mentioned in the Quran. It goes like this in the Quran, that I forgot the name. It wasn't Yaqub in the Quran, but he says something about his uncle. Anyway, I'm roughing it, but according to the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he says to the scientists, the circle of scientists, that he wanted to make a man, and the scientists disagreed with him. So Yaqub left from the circle of the scientists and went to the island of Petamus, Pilan, to make his people. Took 600 years. He wasn't even around to see his finished product. But in the Quran it said, the God said, what are you going to make that will only bring bloodshed? And he spoke in these words, I know what you know not. Let's take another look at it. It's a mirror from the Quran and from the Bible. Those who study know that this is taken from the teachings in the Bible and in the Quran. This movie.
Good and evil are so close as to be chained together in the soul. Man is not truly one, but two. Now supposing we could break that chain, separate those two selves, free the good in man and let it go on to its higher destiny, and segregate the bad. Let it destroy itself in its own degradation.
Good heavens.
Why, Dr. Jekyll?
Hopelessly insane.
This is pure balderdash.
You're dealing with things it would be better not to mention for your own sake. There might be trouble.
Every creator starts from zero.
Jeffrey Epstein may be dead, but this story isn't. A shocking new report from the New York Times sheds light on the connection between Microsoft founder Bill Gates and the late Jeffrey Epstein. After Gates' name came up in connection with Epstein and MIT Media Lab, Gates gave a statement to the Wall Street Journal where he insisted he did not have any business relationship or friendship with Epstein. But new reporting from the New York Times outlines numerous meetings between Gates and Epstein and a conversation with Bill and Melinda Gates' foundation, a connection between their foundation and J.P. Morgan to set up a charitable fund that would financially benefit Epstein. You know what I want to know? Why? Joining me now, one of the New York Times reporters from this story, James B. Stewart, who is also the author of a new book I highly recommend, Deep State, Trump, the FBI, and the Rule of Law. Let's start with this. Gates says, no relationship, nada, nothing. You report these two men met at least 6 times. What does Gates say about that?
Well, I believe there were more, and he and his spokespeople would not say how many in total they actually met. But this included visits to the mansion, seeing each other in Seattle, flying on Epstein's plane, when we all know Bill Gates has his own $40 million plane. And then, as an investigative reporter, why would Gates say, oh, I had no relationship with him, when of course he knows what the facts are? So that always sets off red flags for me.
He also has one of the largest, most established foundations on his own.
Yeah.
Why would they ever set up a charitable trust benefiting Jeffrey Epstein?
Well,
What's the explanation?
not only does he have the world's largest charitable foundation, but one of their primary missions is to help young women in underprivileged countries. Jeffrey Epstein was preying on young women from Eastern Europe, from South Africa, luring them into his web. It's the antithesis of what the Gates Foundation stands for. And by the way, there were Gates Foundation employees who were horrified when they realized what Jeffrey Epstein had done and was saying, we don't want to have anything to do with this, and yet the project went on.
And what is the Gates explanation for this?
That it was all about philanthropy, that Bill Gates just wanted to find new sources of money.
But
So, don't nobody talk or hit on these topics like me. I go deep. Bill Gates, artificial intelligence is his thing. And also population control. Epstein, sex trafficking. He also rubbed shoulders with the Queen of England and the royal family. Donald Trump, Clinton. Yet still, y'all want to vote for a corrupt establishment, corrupt government. See, they're going to hire black people as gatekeepers. And, you know, they're going to have to read from a script of your oppressor. They're going to read from the script. Right now, it's a pandemic. They want you to take a vaccination. They got well-known entertainers, preachers, black politicians, black entertainers, black preachers, coaxing you to get this vaccination. And everyone knows Bill Gates, well, most people know that Bill Gates was a proponent of the vaccination. Bill Gates and what's his name? Gucci, whatever. Funny ass name, you know. But I don't hear Sinetta talking about this. I don't hear no one talking about or mentioning these names because they scared. Now they might do something to this video where it can't get to who it needs to get to. But I'm putting it out there anyway, hoping that it get to the right people. Pass it on. Don't no one talk like I talk. This is Black Light. Think about it. More to come.